Земля путешествует по Вселенной, вращаясь вокруг своей оси, наклоненной под углом 23,5 градуса. Так что с определенной точки зрения мы все живем в мире двигателя. Сегодня в мире набекрень мы говорим о малом. Лилипутское преступность в Германии. Найти иголку кошки из Канады. Боязнь малых пространств в Мексике. Мы говорим о маленьких картинках. Они настолько малые, что вы, сэр, вряд ли их увидите. Небольшое чудо. Под углом 23,5.
Meet Harvey Li
Это
Nework
Harvey
of
Li
Brooklyn, New
из
York.
Бруклина, Нью-Йорк.
Harvey used to
Харви
repair
когда-то
cameras
чинил
in the
камеры
Navy,
во флотилии.
but that was
Но это
before he
было
built
до
his
того, как
daughter
он
a
построил
dollhouse.
кукольный домик для дочери.
Now, Harvey is a
Теперь
master of the
мастер
miniature.
миниатюр.
His work is in
Его работы
several Ripley's,
выставлены в
believe it or
нескольких,
not,
хотите верьте,
museums.
хотите нет, музеях
And his
и
model of a
а
Conley
его модель
camera
камеры
is in the
Conley
International
выставлена в
Museum of
Международном музее
Photography.
фотографии.
This camera
Эта
here
камера
is
точная
modeled on a
копия
real
Fox
Fox
Talbot
Talbot from the 1850s.
1850 года.
And like
И
everything
все, что
Harvey
делает
makes, it
Харви,
actually works.
работает.
But don't just take
Но мы
our
за это
word
не
for it.
ручаемся.
Okay, are we
Ладно,
ready?
готовы?
One,
Раз,
two,
два,
three.
три.
Okay.
Прекрасно.
Very good.
The camera
В
uses a
камерах
tiny
используется
piece of
обычная
regular
тонкая
black and white
черно-белая
film,
пленка,
which
которую
Harvey
Харви
develops in his
проявляет
bathroom.
в ванной.
While he's in
Пока он
there,
там,
let's look at
давайте
the rest of
осмотрим
his
всю
collection.
коллекцию.
The detail on these
Часть этих
miniatures is
миниатюр
amazing.
потрясающая.
But the really
Но
amazing
самое
thing is that
потрясающее
they
то, что
all
они
work.
работают.
In Harvey's
В
Brooklyn living
гостиной Харви
room,
в
you can
Бруклине
strum
можно
a
найти
miniature
миниатюрную
guitar,
гитару.
sink a
Можно
miniature
забить
seven ball
миниатюрные
in the
7 шаров
miniature
в
corner
миниатюрную
pocket.
лузу.
You can even take
Можно
miniature
выстрелить в
target
миниатюрную
practice.
мишень.
Oops, the film's ready.
Снимок готов.
A little blurry.
Немного расплывчато.
Oh well, we said it
Ну,
was
мы
a small
предупреждали,
one.
это
We didn't say it
небольшое,
was a
а не
miracle.
грандиозное чудо.
At this hospital in the Netherlands, the doctors seem concerned about their patient. She's running a mild temperature. Her x-ray shows signs of infection. And she has this tendency to bark like a seal. Well, that's okay. She is a seal, and she's come to the right place. Zeehond Creche is the largest seal hospital in the world. Seals from as far away as the coast of Turkey and the North Pole are sent here to recover from accidents, viruses, and the effects of pollution. Of course, no one likes being in the hospital. Doctors are always trying to listen to your chest or take your temperature. Visitors are always showing up at the wrong time. And hospital food? Let's not even get into it. Still, if a seal has to be in the hospital, this is the place to be. More than 50 seals each year start off in the quarantine tank, move on to the treatment tank, and then go outside to the recovery tanks. The recovery rate is 90%. Lenny Tahart started the hospital 25 years ago when the seal population began dropping because of increases in pollution.
The most important thing is also to release seals, and so we can build up the population again.
So, how's our patient?
She's under control now. There's no infection at this moment.
Even her temperature is back to normal. Seals have the same temperature as humans, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. Pretty soon, she'll be moved to the outdoor tanks with the other seals to gain a little weight and relax. These guys look very relaxed. If they could speak, you get the feeling they give Seehunden their seal of approval.
These are the gold mining hills of California. Once prospectors worked these hills for gold. Today the gold is gone. But the prospectors remain. They're not after gold. They're after ladybugs. After all, ladybugs are almost as valuable. Ladybug harvesters, or buggers as they call themselves, can make up to $1,000 a day. The ladybugs are sold to gardeners who use them for pest control. The ladybugs hang out in groups of thousands under leaf litter. It's a small fortune for the scooping. But first, you have to separate the ladies from the leaves. Sifting the ladybugs looks simple, but if it's not done right, a bugger can get tendinitis. That's not the only danger of bugging. Scorpions, rattlesnakes, and black widow spiders like to hang out in the same place as ladybugs do. This is unique insect control, where the ladybugs are processed, stored, and shipped. It's owned by Peter Foley. Peter used to sell chainsaws. After retirement, he wanted a small, part-time business. But little ladybugs are big business. The ladybug industry generates $3 to $5 million a year. Unique Insect Control distributes over 6,000 gallons of ladybugs annually. At 72 to 80,000 bugs a gallon, that's about 500 million bugs a year. Not only aren't all ladybugs female, not all ladybugs are even ladies. If they're not fed, ladybugs will eat each other. The dark side of ladybugs aside, the beautiful beetle is universally seen as a symbol of good luck and happiness. There's a biological reason for their reputation. Ladybugs eat many garden pests, such as aphids, which is why gardeners are happy to pay $8.75 a pint for the critters. Unfortunately, many ladybugs shipped to customers fly away when they're released. But even when they don't bring luck to gardeners, they still have brought luck to the people in the ladybug business. Coming up, more small wonders. Pinflicks in Canada.
A tiny town in Germany.
And fishing for ratings in the U.S.
The one with the lips.
When most people think movies, they think Hollywood. But the people in this building are working to change all that. Welcome to the new World Center of Filmmaking. Canada. Okay, so Martin Barry and Jacques Bruin aren't exactly household names yet. But they will be if Canada has anything to say about it. The National Film Board of Canada awards Canadians money to make movies. In fact, it's given director Martin Barry a job making movies right in its own building. By shooting one frame of film, then moving his model, then shooting another frame, and so on, Barry creates an animated sequence. This is traditional stop-motion animation. But award-winning animator Jacques Drouin uses a more unusual process. This picture is composed of 250,000 pins set in a vinyl base. If Drouin pushes pins all the way in, you see white. All the way out, you see black. But if the pins are anywhere in between, they create subtle shadows and texture. It's called pin screen animation. The process was originally invented by Russian engraver Alexander Alexeyev in the 1930s. His dreamlike images were used in the Orson Welles movie version of Kafka's book, The Trial. Drouin animates his pictures by shooting a frame of film, modifying the picture, and then shooting another frame. Drouin creates his images with rollers, glass jars, and erasers. He uses a light bulb for highlights. What does it look like when it's all put together? It takes Drouin a year to do 5 minutes of film. We would have asked him how long this piece will take to finish, but we didn't want to pin him down.
Everyone loves to visit the village of Kleinerzgebirge in Germany, but no one wants to live here. That might be because the houses have really low ceilings. Kleinerzgebirge is a town built to 1/25th scale. It has a 1/25th scale amusement park, a 1/25th scale cable car, and a 1/25th scale fire department to put out 1/25th scale fires. With over 80 buildings, it may well be the biggest miniature town in the world. It's located in the German town of Oderon, near Czechoslovakia. Oderon was a mining town until the silver ran out in the 17th century. So local residents turned to folklore. Today, they're world-renowned for their wood carving. Construction on Kleinerzgebirge was first begun in the 1930s by out-of-work wood carvers. Many of the buildings are based on real houses and castles from the area. But what fascinates the 50,000 visitors who come each year are the moving wooden figures. And what powers them? Water. A brook from a nearby forest provides the water which gets funneled through tubes to the different displays. Kleinerzgebirge is a very peaceful place. But like many towns, it has its share of crime. In fact, an assault is committed here on average just about every 2 minutes.
Tropical fish are great, but difficult to maintain. Their tank needs frequent cleaning, and they have to be fed every day. But in Columbia, South Carolina, you can get the fish without the fuss. It's called
Это
the Fish
называется
Channel.
рыбный канал.
The channel's
Девиз
motto
канала
is all fish,
«Рыба
all
всё
the time. And at least
По
so
крайней
far,
мере,
the
сейчас
programming
программа
is
абсолютно
completely
бескорыстна.
commercial-free. It all began
Началось
when
это,
cable TV
когда
company
кабельному
CVI
телевидению
needed
компании
something to
CVI
fill an
нужно
empty
было
channel
заполнить
for a few
пустой канал
weeks.
на пару недель.
Producer Hal
Продюсер
Schulinger
Хал
put a camera in front of the
поставил камеру
office
перед
aquarium
аквариумом
and turned
и
it on.
включил её.
People started
Люди
watching
начали
it,
смотреть это.
and
Сначала они
at first they
подумали,
thought it
что
was
это
kind of a
дешёвый трюк,
novelty, and
но
they started
потом
realizing
поняли,
how
как
relaxing watching the
расслабляешься,
fish are.
глядя на рыбу.
When CVI took
Когда
the fish off
компания
the
убрала
air,
рыбу из эфира,
viewers
зрители начали
protested.
протестовать.
So
И
they
ей
brought the
пришлось
fish
вернуть
back.
рыбу.
12 hours a
12 часов в день
day,
жители
the citizens of
Колумбии
Columbia,
делают звук
South
потише
Carolina, can
и
tune in to
смотрят
watch
на
their
любимых
favorite
рыб.
fish.
Oh, look, I love the blue one. It's great.
Some fans
Некоторые
actually
фанаты стали
name the
давать
fish
рыбам
and write
имена
into the
и
station
писать
when
на
anything
станцию, если
unusual
что-то
happens.
не так.
Yeah, it must.
Like when this
Например,
anemone
если
moved
этот
to the
анимон
other side
переплыл
of
на
the
другую
tank.
сторону.
The station
Станция
alternates
выбирает
between
снимать
shots of the
аквариум с
seawater
морской
tank
водой
and this
или с
freshwater tank.
пресной.
The seawater
Морские
fish are more
рыбы более
popular.
популярны.
Even people with their own fish seem to
Программу
find
смотрят даже те,
TV
у кого
fish more
есть свои
glamorous.
собственные рыбы.
What do they see
Что они
in these
находят в
fish?
этих рыбах?
It's so relaxing.
Это так успокаивает. Я расслабляюсь.
Of course, not everyone likes to relax to fish, in which case you can always sit back and throw another log on the tube.
На друг.
Look at the fire, sweetheart. Look at the TV.
Coming up,
More small
Далее в
wonders.
программе.
brave in a cave in
Храбрец в
Mexico.
пещере в Мексике.
And
И
keep
следите
your
за собой.
eyes to yourself
Гибралтаре.
in Gibraltar. Claustrophobia,
Клаустрофобия.
the fear of small, confined places. If you've got it, this is not the place for you. We're far below ground in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Try not to think of the tons of rock above your head, or the fact that this passage is so narrow that if you break an ankle or a leg, it would be almost impossible to carry you back to the surface.
Некоторые люди начинают паниковать в туне.
Some people
Но
panic
в
in
конце
the cramped
этого
tunnels. But there's a small
нас ждет
wonder at the end of this
небольшое
passageway.
чудо.
And these cavers
И
know
эти
that
люди
to get
знают,
to the
чтобы увидеть
wonder,
это чудо,
they have to get
надо
past the small
немного
one.
пройти.
But it will be
Но оно
worth all the
стоит
risk
того
if these
риска,
cavers can
которому
reach
они
their
подвергаются во
destination.
время пути.
You know you're
Вы
close
понимаете,
when you
что
see a shimmering
приближаетесь,
blue
когда
light.
видите мерцающий голубой свет.
The underground lake
Подземное
of
озеро
Actone. It was formed over
Оно
millions of
создавалось
years by
миллионами
water
лет
that
водой,
ate away the
которая
porous
подтачивалась
Yucatan
из снега
limestone
вулкана
and
и
pooled here.
стекала сюда.
The ancient
Древние
Mayans
майя
believed
верили,
caves
что
like this were the
пещеры
entrances to the
были
underworld.
входами в подземный мир.
They
Они
buried their
приносили
dead
сюда
here,
умерших.
but they also
Но иногда
sometimes
они
took a
также
swim in the
плавали.
cool 65-degree
Возможно,
water.
1000 лет назад
1,000 years
майский
ago, a
ребенок
Mayan child
держался
may have
именно
held
за
on to
этот
this same
спуск.
stalactite. Did the
А
ancient
древние
Mayans
майя
crawl through the same
тоже
tunnel we
пролезали
did
через
to get
этот
here?
туннель, чтобы попасть сюда.
Well, no.
Нет,
They took the
они
stairs.
спускались по лестнице.
Everything's first class on the luxury cruise ship
Все
Peter
по
the Great.
первому классу.
From the well-appointed
Начиная с
rooms
комнат
to the
и
open-air
заканчивая
swimming
открытым
pool
бассейном.
to the fine continental cuisine. But this cruise is not just about luxury. The Peter the Great may look like the Love Boat, but these people aren't paying $1,500 a day just to see the Mediterranean. Frankly, they can't see anything without their glasses. That's why they're here. The Peter the Great is the only floating eye surgery clinic in the world. The boat cruises from port to port, operating on the nearsighted of all nations. At the moment, the boat is docked here in Gibraltar. It belongs to Russian eye surgeon and millionaire Sviatoslav Fyodorov. He's a pioneer of a radical surgery called radial keratotomy, a procedure that can cure nearsightedness. He's also a pioneer of operating in strange places. In Russia, he owns an eye surgery train and several eye surgery buses. Fyodorov says he never operates when his surgical unit is actually moving. But that hasn't stopped his critics from trying to shut his operation down. Spain's Ophthalmological Society says Fyodorov's ship is illegal because it's operating outside the jurisdiction of any malpractice court. And some experts say his rate of surgery is pretty high. So far, 20,000 patients have gone through the ship's examination rooms, and 10,000 have been operated on, in Gibraltar alone. Before the operation, technicians measure the cornea to figure out how long and how deep to make the incisions. In the operating room, a local anesthetic is administered. Then, lines are drawn directly on the eyeball with special ink. Finally, the surgeon looks through an operating microscope and, using a diamond scalpel, cuts into the cornea. Ooh. The incisions flatten the eye's lens, which helps to correct nearsightedness. 15 minutes and $1,500 later, the surgeon is ready for his next patient. This staff can do 5 operations at the same time. What should you do after an eye operation? On the Peter the Great, you hit the disco. Recovering surgical patients may want to sit out the fast numbers. Dr. Fyodorov says he always welcomes observers who want to see his floating surgery. These observers are looking a little queasy. Must be seasickness.
Next time on Tilt 23 and a half.
A windmill on the water in England.
A vase by any other name.
Automobile art in the United States.
And a versatile vehicle in Italy. Great expectations. Next time on Tilt 23 and a half.
One, two, smile. Okay.